Miss Cool's blow dryer went out, alright? So, I'm a little foggy on the screen. My blow dryer went out. So what does ingenuity mean? You tell me. Would it be, I gotta dry this hair? Would it be that in a popcorn popper? You know, these are the things that you think of. I just wanted to share that with you. If you can come up with a better idea, when things happen. Now, would I rather have it just air dry? Absolutely. But you know what? It's kind of nippy over here in Utah. It's cold. So, of course, that's not going to happen. I mean, brr, it's cold. They make videos where people, do a lot of things with the air and freezing. Iceberg weather. So it's Miss Cool coming on here this morning saying, have a wonderful day. Challenge yourself at something. I know I've got a lot of challenges today. Get organized. Get rid of some clutter, as usual. Things you see. Do you need it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you need it? I dated a guy once that said, do you need it or do you want it? That's how he was raised. So I was like, well, if I want it, I need it. And if I need it, I do want it. But then I realized, do I need it or do I want it? Be the kind of person that's teachable, okay? Because if you're teachable, guess what happens? You'll learn. You learn something, right? Here I am at the vanity. I don't even really like them saying that this is a vanity. Let me clean this screen off. Okay. Kind of foggy. I get on here and I don't really care, you guys. I just go for it. Why? Because guess why? Even you see out in the stores, organic is better. Organic. Let's go organic. Well, okay, go organic. And then what? I guess the material that's in us is organic, right? Unless you've got things going on. Cataracts. Different things. But let's get back to right quick here what I came on here for. Ingenuity, an expression. Everything that you're really doing is probably going to be a decision that you make or not. Are you going to make some good decisions today, you guys? Are you going to get out? Are you going to prioritize? That means your life, the people that's in your life. Love them. If you've had friends that have stood by you, family members, that's always going to be a great thing. Now, my Jewish grandmother, I have to say Jewish, came from Poland, and I like saying that because sometimes even people are paying big bucks right now to find out their DNA. So I already know mine, but not 5 grandmothers back. See, this lady here that lives in these apartments where I live, she's LDS, and which means Latter-day Saint. They don't like it if you say Mormon, but she's a Mormon because anyway, the DNA thing everybody does anymore. They want to find out where they're from because no one will want to be in a situation like Moses. You remember Moses, right? Well, if you don't, Moses was in the Bible and they put him in a river because they were, having some hardships with babies and all and bloodlines. Some books do that intentionally. This stuff's kind of obvious. I don't really feel like wasting my time on a tree of life, People kind of want to know who they are, where they're from. As far as, this lady going 5 grandmothers back. But back to my grandmother Feldman, that she said, the less people you know, the better off you are. It's funny how we remember and we're selective, but not selective. It's where our spirit also is, that we can recall moments that people said something. So you stayed aware and they left you with that. If she left me with that, Grandma, if you left me with that, I want to thank you. Last night I missed her. It was late and I got up and had some chamomile tea and I thought on her. I thought of her linens and her clean home and her table with lion's feet and marble tops and how wonderful she was. You know, when you're a child, you look up to different people, don't you? I was around adults that smoked cigarettes. Back then they had the candies, you know, that had paper on them and they put some little like powdered sugar so you could go, phew. You know, they don't make those anymore, right? But thinking about generations, different times, things that happened, our history, you know, we become the movie, we become the book. But there's always a new chapter, right? So these new chapters in our life, we're in charge of, right? Because who else is in charge? The minute you let go of the reins, riding a horse through the thicket, they call it. The minute you let go of those reins, so to speak, that horse is going to go where he wants. Are you going to let go of the reins today? Or like a lot of people say, let go and let God. I bet you lock your front door. Just have enough sense about yourself. That's why people say, you know, you ain't got the sense of a belly goat. Because these belly goats, they eat license plates, jump up on top of homes and all. They get in situations. But that's what makes them unruly. People are ashamed to be their self anymore, I feel like, you know. They're just like, some people were just born fiery. Some people were born just real cool, calm, and mellow. Those are the ones you kind of want to be around if you're fiery or brassy like Miss Cool. Because then it kind of sets a different tone. And you'll be able to move in a different direction. Now, not long, because they could, you know, rob you of expression. Their expression's calm. Nature can bring in calmness, you know. What you're reading, taking in, absorbing, you know, is a beautiful thing. You know, some people use like you're a sponge in a negative way. What if I'm a sponge and I'm taking in good things? Okay, so be a sponge on positive and be negative and wring it out. Okay? These are simple things. I'm just talking off the cuff. Okay? So it's a good day today. Give people their space. Let them know you love them somehow. Because if all the memories and all the things you remember that weren't bad, then it's their responsibility, isn't it? I guess that it is everybody's responsibility and they're in charge of their own happiness, right? Okay, so then you meet these people and their family members, okay? Different relationships. They say that you need to help them unpack. Do you? Okay, well, sometimes you do. But can you also pack them back up and send them out the door? Meaning your life, your heart. See, your heart's a door. That's beating fast with anxiety. Being around people that are calm is like, if you're around people that are always traumatized and can't work things out and they never can reach a place where they just sing and they live in the moment and they're like, wow, this is really cool. But if you're around people that are uptight and they're mad and they haven't resolved issues within their own self, including yourself, and then together two planets crash, and then what do we got? Androids. And then what do you got to do? You got to resort to all this type of breathing and yoga and faith, and God's going to help you get through it. You better read a good book, and you better get up and move. Why? Because when you move, it transfers negativity into your feet, okay? That's why you got feet right here, all right? You got feet? Use your feet. Get up, move. Use your hands, dance, put some different music on, okay? Pull yourself out of it. Get a hold of yourself. It's going to be a better day today. Watch the tone of your voice. I don't know if you guys like being yelled at, but I sure don't. Now, if I was at a football game or cheering for somebody, let's go. But other than that, communicate. If I have to interrupt somebody and say, it's kind of, you know, I can hear you. Just like when I used to take orders in restaurants. You know? You can tell somebody to do something, but guess what? Just like this phrase. As a matter of fact, I'm glad I'm on here this morning sharing something with somebody. By the way, all of you people I don't know, but I'm leaving a legacy for my children or people that do care. And you know what? Nobody's better than anybody but you are. Now, how do you like that one? You know why? Because we're open to learn. There's nothing worse than being stubborn. Okay? Especially when it comes to your own good. Like Miss Cool, I had to have that operation. Was I fearful? Well, of course I was. Every time I get my blood drawn, I have fear. But I know that there's kind people in the medical field, okay? And they know I respect them. But back to these sayings, these cliches. I don't know, do they travel through you at times in your life and you pay attention and it's a reverence, anyway, let's get to it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I actually want to know who said that. Can I meet him? Is it possible? It's a hand-me-down phrase. So do you visualize this horse you're pulling, and saying, hey, this water's nice and cold. I'm going to wait. You better take a drink. That horse is going to take a drink whether he likes to or not, or wants to. But a horse is beautiful how they drink. Let's breathe in, I'm just fascinated with different people and different ideas, Where did that phrase come from? A lot of times people say, do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you. Has anybody heard it? Well, it's in the Bible. But there's these different phrases, What's the one that really cracks me up? You're going to throw the baby out with the baby dirty bath water? Or, oh, gosh, these phrases. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I could say some ones that are, cursed and dirty, but I don't want to go there. Because that's going to reflect something that, I just want to push out. If I'm able to push that out, I would rather push it out and go to the nice ones, I know my son Christopher said, hey, Mom, did you hear about the 2 olives? And I said, no. And he goes, yeah, the 2 black olives on the table. And I go, yeah, what? And he goes, well, one rolled off the table and hit the floor. You know what he said? And I go, what, son? And he goes, olive. So it's these cute little jokes that kind of like can make someone's day. It's a form of communication, especially if someone's like, needing some cheer or to guide them to a different state of mind. But you can't control it, but you can guide them. And if you can't, then, you move on. And these are cuddling and comforts that we do to oneself, right? Even as children. So have a wonderful day. Miss Cool's talking about who actually invented the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Wouldn't you like to meet these people? Who are they? Well, maybe somebody out there knows. That would be cool if you'd tell me. There's so many things to study and learn. But the first one on your list could be you.